What drew me initially to see Ad Astra in theaters was a bright, excited sense of nostalgia and connection to the past. Its themes and cinematography resembled the likes of Interstellar, Gravity, and The Martian, also more distantly 2001: A Space Odyssey, with a new and refreshing take on the science fiction genre helmed by relative newcomer James Gray. The shots in the trailers filled me with hope for the rich cinematic experience to come. At the same time, I had my doubts and slight reservations on the film, given that I was completely unfamiliar with the director's previous work and the backlash of negative audience ratings following its release. I approached with an understandable reluctance. What I like about this film is that it is not ashamed to venture into the interpersonal psychology of a father-son relationship. It does not back down, and it does not relent. Instead, it keeps on the precise pathway necessary to foster emotions. This is an interesting dichotomy because Brad Pitt's character, Roy McBride, is famously calm, collected, generally work-driven, and emotionless to the point that he has trouble feeling empathy. His crewmates all know him as the son of Clifford McBride, and despite his own achievements, he continues to live in the shadow of his father's legacy. The narrative guides us with Roy as he battles his own personal demons through a physical journey to find his father. His trip to Neptune in deep space is analogous to a man venturing into the unknown, into the void. He seeks answers and a rekindling of the relationship with his father, but what he finds instead is a man broken by his own obsessive devotion. Clifford refuses to accept the outcome of his expedition, killing his mutinous crew rather than allowing them to return to Earth with no answers. The father archetype portrayed in this story is the fundamental basis for all father-like figures in psychology, including the deeply flawed ones. The unconscious force calling him to rectify the broken bond is the same force that drives all men to reacquaint themselves with their father. When Roy reestablishes his connection, everything changes. He's reintroduced to a fragment of himself, revealing the very root of his own internal problems. The self peering back, reflecting through the vastness of untrammeled chaos. Now, I am not going to say that this is a perfect film, quite the contrary. It has several flaws and key places that I will explore in a minute. Overall, I would say that Ad Astra was an enjoyable visual feast, long on drama and spectacle and short on actual writing structure. In this way, it's akin to the aforementioned film Gravity, directed by Alfonso Cuarón. The subplots that show up through the film are often meager, and we never really see a payoff for any of them. I am referring to the strange killer baboon scene in the first act and Donald Sutherland's awkward scenes. They just sort of appear and then disappear, which is frustrating in a movie that claims to have some grand message or theme. It felt a bit disjointed because of this, and at several times throughout the film I found myself distracted by the open-endedness. That being said, I realize even some of my favorite, most cherished films have flaws like this. The issue with Ad Astra is that the subplots have an altogether different tone than the second or third acts. The scene with the monkey felt very much like horror, yet the rest of the film felt like drama in outer space. These inconsistencies are what prevents Ad Astra from being a truly excellent film. Did I hate it? Absolutely not. I thought the visuals were some of the best I had seen in a while, and I loved the homage paid to older films, but quite frankly, it fails to fill the shoes of said classics. 2001: A Space Odyssey was unique because it was a total pioneer in terms of special effects for when it was released in 1968. It paved the way for Star Wars and many other science fiction classics of the late 20th century. Ad Astra is simply a beautiful film with a subdued and complex performance from Brad Pitt. It doesn't trailblaze in any way, but instead inhabits the ever-growing pool of sci-fi space films. I enjoyed most of it, so I'm going to give it a 7.2 out of 10 stars. That's my honest rating. Thank you for sticking around until the end. If you'd like to, go ahead and leave a comment below and give me your opinions on the film. What did you think about it? Let me know. Leave a like and feel free to subscribe if you want more of this kind of content.